So friends, our today's speaker is Dr. B.N. Tripathi, DDG Animal Science in the headquarters. This is the fourth lecture in the series which we have initiated few days back. So today, Dr. Tripathi will be talking to us about the activities, aspirations, and action plan for the Division of Animal Sciences. So Dr. Tripathi, first of all, thank you very much for kindly agreeing to deliver this important talk. And of course, now I welcome you and request you to kindly make the presentation.
To present our activities, aspirations, and action plan of Animal Science Division in ICAR. Honorable Secretary there and DG ICAR, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, my esteemed colleague, Deputy Director General, ADG, all esteemed directors from all ICAR institutes, and all heads of division, all scientists throughout the institute and KVK. Another, I think, maybe some vice chancellor have also joined this. To all of you, I send my greetings and convey my greetings from ICAR and welcome all of you today on this this presentation of Animal Science Division of ICAR. So our journey, of animal science starts way back from 1889, and in the right side you are seeing the picture from Mukteswar during late 19th century. This is the picture, and since then this institute has been working for the animal health management in the country. And we have got scientists currently 696, and then technical 641. And all administrative, supporting, and their staff, there are 2,124. And this is the detail of our animal science institution. We have got two deemed university, IVRI and NDRI. Then central and Western Institute, they're on cattle, on sheep, goat, buffalo, and on avian research and nutrition and physiology institute. And we've got a special institute, a specific institute like DG epidemiology. For that immediately we have, and high security animal laboratory at Bhopal. We have 6 NRCs on pig, methone, yak, camel, equines, and meat. 2 directorates, Directorate of Foot and Mouth Disease and Directorate of Poultry Research. And then we've got a National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources. And these are the networks program on the AICRP, 7, 5 network programs, Outreach Program 4, and then Consortium Research Platform 2. And we have also a National Veterinary Type Culture Center at Hisar. And all these institutes, they have been divided into 4 schemes, that is dairy production and technology development, animal nutrition and small ruminant production and technology development, animal health management and veterinary education, and animal genetic resources and management, production and improvement. Our contribution, animal husbandry contribution to national GDP is over 4%, and contribution to agricultural GDP about 30%. And with a population of 536 animal, we are perhaps the highest biodiversity in the country, in the world. Our milk production, we are producing almost 23% of world milk and the largest producer. And currently, we are producing around 210 million ton of milk. And if you compare with 1951 production, it is more than 1200% increase there. Similarly, if you look at the entire livestock sector contribution, at the current price, it is 12.6 lakh crore. And out of that, 8.6 lakhs only to the dairy sectors and others. Similarly, if you talk of meat sector, almost we are producing in the country 8.8 million ton, and of course more than 24,000 of the buffalo meat export is worth in the country after rice, in the country. Similarly, poultry production itself, we have got around 852 million. It is almost 5th in the world and producing 122 billions of eggs. And current availability of per capita is 91 eggs per year. And it is also heartening to know that backyard poultry is on a great demand. And you can see the tweet from the PMO that says about the contribution of animal husbandry to the agriculture and national GDP and livelihood and food security in the country. That I will just a couple of slides I will devote on this about what are the different issues in animal production, in animal health, and similarly in the HRD and the capacity building. So coming to our animal genetic resources and breeding, currently we know that we are only 50% of non-descriptive animals still there in the country. That's a great job that we have to do. Another case, the productivity of animal is less than 2,000 per kg. And the shortage of high genetic merit germplasm in the country. So there are all areas of concern that we have to really address. Coming to the animal nutrition, there is a lot of deficit of a drive in green fodder for the tune of 23% to 36%, and that is a great concern because cost of production of animal goes to about 65 to 70% cost go to animal nutrition only. So we have to do a lot of research on animal nutrition as well. Coming to animal health, it is an issue that everybody knows that how new diseases are emerging, re-emerging, transborn diseases, and they are really economically affecting the country. So we need to develop a lot of new generation vaccine, adjuvant and therapeutics, pesticide cheaper test, and disease surveillance and monitoring is very important in current context. Antimicrobial resistance is a global issue, and India is also participating in that. And finally, then we have to go for our human resource development and package stopping of technology to Government of India. Animal reproduction, there are many issues with the animal reproduction, right from our age at sexual maturity, then fertility biomarkers, and the availability of sex semen, and also their success rate, and longer calving period, repeat breeders, poor reproductive efficiency, and also some of the refined frozen semen technology in small ruminant and pig. They are concerned that we have to go really with the animal health. Then we go further livestock products, value addition, and food safety. There are many issues with the quality assurance and value addition. Traceability, it's one of the important things that we are addressing. Then microbial contamination and emerging food pathogens. Residual animal products and animal feed is also concerned. A lot of work is required to be done in this area as well. Development of kits for testing of animal products, etc. And adulterants in milk and milk product, and synthetic milk, that is also a concern. So food safety and value addition is the one area that also ICAR is addressing a lot. Now coming to the three products and their impacts during last 3 years. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now coming to three products. Now first would be that improved germplasm of cattle, buffalo, goat, sheep, pig, and poultry. And just now giving very briefly about that how we've been able to improve the milk production in Gir, Kankraj, and Sahiwal from 20 to 37%. Similarly, buffalo milk has increased up to 42%, and the sheep weight increased up to 65% at 12 months of age. And similarly, Friedwald cattle that we have developed over 3 decades, now producing 4,500 to 7,000 milk. Then second our achievement has been the product having the revolutionary intervention in backyard poultry. More than 39 lakhs families benefited from distribution of 3.5 crore improved poultry germplasm. That is worth about 884 crores net profit by the farmers. And our backyard and native chickens, they have been giving only 50 to 80 eggs. Now we've been able to produce classes that gives 140 to 180 eggs. That also really revolutionized the entire backyard poultry population in the country as such. Then we have high-yielding 9 pig varieties, and 280% more income is being incurred by the farmers. Then we have another important achievement, 3 breed class Avishan sheep that has got a 74% poly efficacy with litter size of 1.8. Now here is the Friedwald cattle. You can see different parameters, how it has improved. It is one of the stabilized breed. And Government of India is very shortly going to adopt in the improvement programs for the country. And you can see that 20 lakh frozen semen doses, and that has really give the range of milk production by 4,500 to 7,000 milk. So that's a very good breed, and it has really changed the milk production to the extent in some of the states also. Then I have just mentioned about the improved chicken varieties, that we have developed, and the Indian poultry, sector valued 8,000 crore. So these are certain improved varieties, and they have really been distributed throughout the country. Now this is one of the economic estimates that we have made in the poultry sector. From improved variety, there had been a gain of 883 plus crore. The alternate feed resources per annum 1750 crore. Then diagnostic and health services 272, and then capacity building 100 crore. Total 3,606 crore. So this is a big variety that ICAR, Defense Institute of ICAR and ESRP have developed, and we have made one estimate that there was a gain of more than about 31 crore. And the major feature of these breeds has a 75% higher marketable body weight than local germplasm, and the increase 2.8 times more income than the indigenous stock. I was mentioning about the Avishan sheep, where the polyphagy is around 74% and litter size 1.4. You can see that this efficiency, EPE, is 23.3 kg, and the adult survivability is more than 96%. That's a great, achievement that these three breed cross we have achieved through this, and great demand for this sheep as well in the country. Then coming to the second deliverable, that was the vaccine for higher productivity and preventing economic losses. FMD alone, this vaccination has saved from the economic loss of more than 22,000 crore in cattle and buffalo. Similarly, and this is number one disease for cattle and buffalo. Similarly, PPR as number one disease for sheep and goats, where the vaccine saved economic losses of around 4,683 crores per annum. Brucella vaccine and diagnostic kits, they were estimated due to loss due to Brucella to be economic losses of 9,212 crores in different livestock species. And our vaccine and diagnostic, which is being used in our national control program, is going to have a large impact in this area as well. Now, on the production side, you can see that a farmer friendly developed solution to reduce enteric methane emission. And its impact has been that it has been able to reduce the methane emission by 17 to 20%. And it also cut annual emission for just equivalent to reducing 50 million metric ton of carbon dioxide emission from the atmosphere. The second has been area-specific mineral mixture, and it is always increasing the reported performance in different climate conditions, and per year more than 450 crores gain. The anionic mixture that has been developed by NDRI itself has the potential of generating economic welfare of worth 20,000 crores in the country. Feed formulation from alternative sources, there are 30 formulations that ICAR has developed, and that the benefit of up to 1,260 to 1,680 crores per annum. Designer egg and meat like omega-3 fatty acid, rich meat, and low cholesterol have also been produced by ICAR Institute. So these are some of the top, research papers that have been published here, and I'm able to give at least two or three reviews. Clinical microbiology, where impact factor is currently 50.13, and of course we have got so many papers from 20 and the 18, 17, and 15. So these are the achievement of the Animal Science Institutes. So here you can see some of the paper that I'm able to depict here. There may be many more. And so now coming to the three achievements and their impact during the last 3 years. We have started our mission towards zero non-descript program, where we have 28 breeds of livestock and 14 last 3 years, and 3 indigenous dog breeds, germplasm, have been notified and they've been released. And also we have released a breed watch list 2022 that consists of having all the breeds on the map that according to the population. The next one is the 8 DNA chips have been developed for cattle, buffalo, camel, goat, and poultry, and for trait identification characterization. And this is one of the most significant achievements in recent years, which is being implemented for the breed improvement in our cattle and buffalo. The multiplication of high genetic merit buffalo by cloning is an achievement. That is the next, third generation technology, and that will really, in the future, it will change the entire scenario of animal production in the country. We have also introduced artificial insemination in pig, yak, and mithun, and we would like to know that mithun and yak have been recognized as a food animal, and therefore their conservation, their propagation will go further. whole genome sequencing of Indian methone and Bos pontilis and pig for the SNP tube development, and then genetic improvement of camel has been done, and we have got an increase in milk production by 7%, and now it is recognized as a dairy animal, and many dairy camel farms are coming up, which is very useful for the conservation and propagation of camel in the country. So there are some of the breeds that I have depicted here that has been notified. You can see that what a beautiful breeds. They have never been, they have been there in the area, but they were not, inventorized and get notified. Now they've been registered. You can see one of the best Soviet goat of Rajasthan, and then Karauli goat of Rajasthan, and then Gujari goat. So animal resources in Rajasthan, they are really, very diversified, and they are some of the best breeds that are available in the Rajasthan itself. Now, optimizing the livestock and poultry health through improved vaccine, that we know that recently we have developed a LSD vaccine, Lumpy Provac India, and that will be a game changer, and that is going to be very soon, part of a national immunization program. And we also developed Ancovax, a COVID vaccine for animals, because COVID also goes to animal as well. Then we have a vaccine for H5N2, CPOX vaccine we have commercialized this year also. Then there is a Gumboro vaccine, CSF, our classical swine fever vaccine, that has also been commercialized, and it is a very, very, very one of the cheap technology where it will also, because we have been using the Lepinide vaccine, and that requires a lot of rabbits, thousands of rabbits to be killed for that. Now that has been replaced by the classical swine fever vaccine. Similarly, we have got vaccine for equine herpes virus and equine influenza. Brucella mutant vaccine is also just within the last 2 years, it has been commercialized, and is also going to be used in National Disease Education Control Program. So now, one of the estimates is that in the total interface education program in India, the expenditure was 47,856 million. And you can see that one disease is eradicated, what is the achievement, what is the gain from such like disease. So this is all our vaccine is going to give a great boost in the productivity of animals. Now then, for diagnostic and surveillance, we have been working on a development of diagnostic for all diseases wherever it is required for diagnosis or surveillance or for serial monitoring. And prominent among some of them I have mentioned here for SARS coronavirus, then trypanosomiasis, glanders, equine infectious anemia. Then we have developed ELISA for PRRS, avian influenza, and monoclonal antibody-based Brucella kit, then Japanese encephalitis kit, then blue tongue, and then for rotavirus as well. And also, since those African swine fever has recently come out in the country, and so we also developed this diagnostic test for it. And also we are working a lot, our massive efforts are going on to develop a vaccine as well. There are herbal therapeutics where we have been working on and produce some antimicrobial disinfectant and the treatment of tick infestation, dermal mycosis, coccidiosis, and diarrhea. Mastitis reduction, the mastitis is a great problem in all high elder animals. And then for that, we have developed a mastodip that reduces the incidence of mastitis in bovine. Then, of course, for disease monitoring and surveillance, we have got a NADRS system that is developed, National Animal Disease Referral Expert System, that is developed by Navedi, and that is required for forecasting and forewarning of 13 diseases for the animal. And this software has been developed on the basis of more than 2.39 lakh livestock outbreak data and categorized with the state, district, species, month, year, and outbreak linked to DIS data. And the reports are being regularly, given to Department of Environment and other state environmental department. Then also post-vaccination seromonitoring, serosurveillance, FMD, and quality control system that we have been doing at our IVRI and other institute, that has been a great help to Government of India. And coming to the sample size, we have tested more than 4 lakh sample for FMD seromonitoring, 11 lakh under the National FMD Surveillance Program, and 1.3 lakh for equine glanders. We are supporting fully the Government of India disease control program on FMD, PPR, CSF, brucellosis, and also avian flu lumpy skin disease, and of course, this African swine fever. Then coming to the third one is enhancing the productivity through reproductive technology. That our institute they have already expertise in the embryo transport technology, ovum pickup, and in vitro fertilization. They are trying in buffalo as well, IVF, and they have been able to reduce the dose of semen from 20 million to 12 million. It means that 40% semen doses are available extra, and that can really help in covering more artificial insemination in the country. There are different tools and techniques and small equipments that have been developed by our scientists, like spermoscope that we use for the field microscope, and then modified artificial vagina, the cystoscopy for determining the optimum time for insemination. Then urine-based pregnancy diagnosis. Now, this is one of the most important technology that has been developed recently by our CRB. Then bufasol that has been developed as a semen extender for buffalo. It is under testing and validation. And then buffalo saliva scope and a Eastus identification kit. That is also all the reported technology, are smaller technology, smaller equipment, but they can really, make the reproduction efficiency better and better in the animals. Value addition and quality assurance. This is very important nowadays. So our institute have developed rapid detection kit for common adulterants and the common detergent in milk. And they have developed kits for detection of antibiotics, pesticide residues in milk and other food matrices, and more than 250, biomolecules and chemicals that have been detected in livestock milk and milk product. Then they have developed a PCR-based typing for A2 and A1 and A2 type of milk, and then so many, milk adulteration kit differentiated between camel and cow milk, then cow milk and goat milk. And also, they have been able to develop different speciation to differentiate between buffalo milk and meat and other things. And there are more than 68 well-rated products of milk, meat, eggs, and fibers that have been developed by our institute. And then food animals, the test for 12 species, they are available, and we can able to differentiate meat of any species because many metrological cases we are getting, samples are getting at our NRC on meat. So they also for halal compliance testing is one that is very important that NRC meat is doing currently. Then also we are going for organic livestock production certification, meat on wheel and ICAR. So some of these are achievement in value addition and quality assurance. So you can see some of the products that I have depicted here, right from meat, milk, and fiber, and chicken meatball, kofta curry, and so many products that is being produced by many of our institute. And then coming to the assurance is not only that our institute, they are also national and internationally known. They are reference laboratory, and many of them are enabled accredited labs. So they are also laboratory for OI and FAO reference laboratory. You can see for influenza we have got NISAR, then FMD by DFMD, PPR lab by IVRI and Nivedi, then animal feed equivalent CIRB is one, then FSSI and DSD and National Reference Laboratory. They're also there. For at least more than 30 diseases, our institute like IVRI, NISAR, and then NRC and Equine, they have been working on these diseases. So for the past several years, for the last 3 decades, no disease has entered through any livestock import or livestock product import in the country. So that is the efficiency of our institute that we have been doing through. Then all these, we have got different labs, that national defense labs, they have been identified and recognized by the government of India. And also many of them are NABL accredited. So quality assurance and food safety are very important, and we are working on that as well. Coming to the human source development for our students like BTech and BVSC and MCMSC and MSc and MTech and PhD. So you can see that the last 3 years we have taken admitted 209 and then mastered 828, then PhD 588, and number they passed 144, and for masters passed 612, and then for PhD 414, And a placement also, we have got not all data, but some of the data available. I would like to tell you that more than 343 placement that we know that they are placed in many universities, the Yara scientists, and many other companies. So now coming to 3 target products with their potential impact in next 3 years. So here again, then we are going with our target, product characterization of 50 new animal breeds. We are going to have it so that we can have a gene pool of different traits for disease resistance and climate resilience. 2 improved backyard colored, low input poultry birds with egg production above 200. That is our objective. That we are going to have in the next 3 years. The microbial diversity of fermented milk products and probiotics development with immunomodulatory potential. For sustainable agri-food development and export value chain for higher income. Then Semen Istra, we are going to promote, train people and from Department of Husbandry so that they should know that how to reduce this from 20 million to 12 million. So that we can cover 40% more from AI and use our sources very effectively. The new generation vaccines that we are going to have a combo vaccine of PPR and goat pox to control. Excuse me. Then we are going to have an inactivated vaccine. You know that porcine repetitive and respiratory syndrome virus, it is traveling around the North Eastern region, and we need a vaccine for that. So vaccine is ready. We are testing it currently. Then there is a big challenge before us for the development of vaccine for African swine fever, and our scientists are working on that. And perhaps in a year time or so, we'll be able to get a good vaccine candidate. Then trivalent negative marker DIVA vaccine for FMD that is required for differential diagnosis also. And when we have a disease negative status, then all the vaccines are needed. Then blood-based tests for pregnancy diagnosis in bovine, for early diagnosis in diagnosis, and then infrared thermal imaging for animal health assessment as a non-invasive, cost-effective control, so that we can manage farm operation with less manpower. Then product development for increase the income of farmers to development of free semen extender for buffalo. That's one technology is currently under validation. So all the semen extenders are normally egg yolk with egg yolk, but now we have developed a egg yolk free one. Then biofortified chicken varieties for copper and iron. Then in IoT and AI based real-time health management and data recording in livestock and poultry. And the technology for utilization of animal waste for green energy and organic compost generation, especially for the poultry litters. We have been working on that. And the new initiative that we have taken in the last 3 years in this plan. So genomics, use of genomic technology in augmenting productivity, that we are implementing it in livestock and poultry. We have all developed it, DNA chips for that. Then knockdown broiler chicken for masticated developed where body weight at 6 weeks of age was improved by 26%, and that we have demonstrated. And then knockdown chicken for SRE, BP1 and ACAC genes were developed through RNA technology, where serum cholesterol and triglyceride were reduced by over 20 to 24% respectively. So that is one thing that we are doing in the genomics. Then animal health, we started a project and a network program on challenging and emerging diseases of animals, where we have included some of the diseases like LSD and ASF, and of course, avian influenza is always a challenge for us. Then we have started also one project on One Health approach to zoonotic diseases, and another third project that we started on the antimicrobial resistance, I think FAR project, in collaboration with the Fishery Science Division. That's the big project that we have been working for the last 3 years, non-funded, but now it has been funded. Then recently we have our Honorable Prime Minister has shown a lot of interest in canines, our indigenous, our Indian dogs. So therefore, we have opened an advanced research center on canines, where we are working on the indigenous dogs and also along with state-of-art facilities for the animal health management for canines. We are also collaborating with some institute and also Army and paramilitary forces. The new generation vaccine is always on the card, like vector vaccine, like mRNA vaccine. We have been working for many diseases, adjuvants, diagnostic and therapeutics is always on the card. The surveillance and monitoring of disease, we have been continuing to do that. African swine fever is one, and lumpy skin, I told many times that it is a big problem currently. We are going to work on this. The sustainable production and value addition, the conservation of animal genetic resources, the development of climate resilient animal varieties with package of practices for production under extreme climates such as high altitude animal production. Then due to AMR, we are trying to develop various alternatives to antibiotic growth promoters that is normally used in poultry, so that in the form of probiotics, prebiotics, probiotic, and phytogenic agents for improving livestock health and production. Then we've also started initiated work on production of lab-grown cultured meat that is now been taken by NRC meat. Organic animal production is another area we have already started. And most important thing that quality assurance, the traceability system that we have introduced with the collaboration from Department of Husbandry, we are working on it. And we have already developed a model for that, I think, and they have started it. Excuse me. Then there has been a lot of emphasis on non-bovine milk because of a lot of nutraceutical and therapeutic properties. So we have started working on milk of sheep, goat, yak, mithun, even donkey, so that we should know, and camel as well. We have already been working, so that we should know that it's nutraceutical and therapeutic values. We have always been converging with different departments depending on activity, like research activity, most of CSIR Institute, and then ICAR Institute, Department of Health Research, and NCDC, AIMS, International Research Organization like ILRI, and Developmental Department, Department of Animal Husbandry, FSSI, EPIDA, State Animal Husbandry Department, and then NABARD, etc. And similarly, for educational research activity, State Agriculture and Veterinary University, Indira Gandhi Open University, Department of Science and Technology, and Department of DBT. So we have been working with all these departments in different capacity at different level. Now coming to the what budget we have been getting for last 3 years, and we can see that from 2019 we have got 310 crore. This is all only contingency. This is not salary and pension; it's excluded. So we have then 21 it was reduced to 274, and 21-22 reduced to 262. So we can see that there is a clear-cut 15% cut over the years, for last 3 years. And that has been a great problem for us to manage our farm, especially. And this is overall, all budgets that we can see that we have been able to use more than 99% here in 1920, and then 97% in 2021. And of course, more than 99% during recent, 21-22. These all include salary available, pension, etc. Now, coming to the initiative for resource generation, we are planning to establishment of hybridoma platform as a service activity for revenue resource generation, and then improve germplasm supply that we've been doing it and will continue to do it, so that will generate more revenue for that. Then providing diagnostic kit and services, and you would like to know that all these government programs of disease control program that is going on, we are supplying them diagnostic kit and etc. Of course, we don't charge per kit, but we get money from them. Then providing your consulting services for entrepreneurship development, technology commercialization, collaborative research project with external grants, services like testing of meat and milk products, residues, quality traits, traceability. Another one is enhanced public-private partnership for optimal utilization and sharing of resources. Then sale of characterized microbes and technologies. Recently, NRC said that they were able to know 3.5 crore from the different type cultures and also viruses that they have. They have more than 350 viruses and more than 2,000 bacteria for that matter. And then public-private participatory approach to optimal utilization. I think so. All we are proposing 47 crores, literacy. And then how to reduce our expenses. So here we would like to put on efforts on the development of central instrumentation facility and sharing resources, and the reduce the engagement of security personnel by electronic surveillance system, mechanization of livestock farm operation and data recording, the use of digital technology for meeting, monitoring, review, and conferences, and the use of solar power to reduce electrical charges. That comes to about 18 crores. And proposed collaboration with private organization, and we feel that if in the area like development and commercialization of test vaccine, diagnostic, food products, equipments, and the research collaborations and training in areas of IPR, value addition, breeding biotechnology, then product development and testing validation. So we suppose that we will have collaboration of 28 crore. And currently around 1 crore collaboration, we already have it. And many of them are in pipeline. So that we can work more, we have to really work more with the private companies as a contact research and also as a collaborative research in PPP model. And the challenges faced by some of the, in terms of administrative and financial manpower at many of the institute, especially those who are located in the far off areas and difficult areas, especially on Nath system region. So there must be deputation from other institute. Then transfer of scientists to online portal without replacement. And here again, action has already been taken, and perhaps committee is already formed. We're looking into that. But institutes are very much concerned about because some of the institutes they're really less than 50% they have got scientists there, and even there are one scientist they are transferred. So that is a great concern for many of the institutes. Okay, too much reporting. They report that too much reporting, so we should be consolidated. And ICAR is one of the premium institutions facing with the BSL-3 facilities and animal BSL-3 facility. And BSL-4 lab at NISAR Bhopal, because our lab has been working since last 22 years, 24/7, and its status has now come down when it was a P4 lab during its initiation, but due to the high standard and increasing the standard, it has come down. So we really need to have a BSL-4 laboratory at Bhopal and NISAR, so that we can handle some of the difficult and very, very harmful pathogens, which otherwise they are not able to handle it. And then last one is the one-time grant for renovation of buildings. Our institute are more than 100-year-old. It is both our deep university, NDRI and ICAR. One is 133-year-old, another is around 100 years. They are celebrating their centennial celebration at this NDRI, but their buildings are very, very old, and we need really to be providing one-time grant so that they can really refurbish and they renovate and they restructure to the tune of a deemed university of a standard. The general suggestion that also for the institute that we should have a pathogenomics facility at our National Center for Veterinary Type Culture in RCSR, a separate facility, quality control veterinary biological surveillance to be established at IBRI. Currently, it is being done by Biological Standards and Division. There should be set up different, separate scientists, separate building to do that. Now they've done it together, so we get out of problem as well. Then grant of gene bank at NBGR, Karnal, research grant for young scientists need to be strengthened, and this institute can do it. Then GMP laboratory as the ICAR for experimental level vaccine production in any emergency case. Then ICAR and NDRI deemed university need to increase the student capacity so that scientists of smaller institute can be a faculty, and they can also get the chance to guide the student and also teach them. Then collaboration of research and sharing of central facilities, generating further resources to manage livestock farm, and there need to be convergence with IGFRI Jhansi so that we can use our land for our profitable utilization for our livestock farm. Dissemination of improved germplasm in PPP mode, to generate revenue also, and also reaching to the farmers. Then a uniform guideline for naming the institute as well, because some institute are national institute having only 20, 25 scientists, some are not national institutes. So there must be a guideline for that also, that across all ICAR institute, I think. Then one problem in the harmonization of knowledge of administrative and financial officers. When I tell that what harmonization means, if you give 10 files for purchase, you'll find different kind of noting on the file, meaning that people in administration and finance, they have got a discretion, and that discretion, so that's why that discretion led to say that somebody are very positive, bada positive officer hai wo, or negative hai. So this positivity and negativity, if we have a harmonized knowledge of our finance administrative officer, that will be a great help for the institute directors to manage it. Then directing resources and using at the institute level by proper utilization of land. Land is also one of the issues that some of the institutes have got hundreds of acres land unused. So all the institutes would need to know, of course, so how to utilize these land for our profitable production and revenue generation. And of course, ICAR is planning to prepare a guideline that how we can go in the triple P mode. So these are some of the general suggestions and suggestion for headquarters. Then constitution of a special cadre of scientific, administrative, and finance for the institute. Of course, I have repeated again, a uniform guideline for nomenclature of institute. ICAR and DRI we made as an institute of global importance. Filling up the vacant technical and administrative manpower. Smaller institute centers should have a minimum of 1 scientific staff and approved earmarked discipline. So if any institute have got only 1 scientist, 1 extension scientist, if he is removed, then the extension work of that institute is almost affected. And a lot of government of India is having extension type of work in all institutes, they are doing it. So I mean that should be taken care of. The need of doing business for approval of foreign visits, contract, and collaborative research projects involving foreign funding. That is the area of concern, which I am feeling also here being at headquarters, that projects that takes any time between 4 months to 24 months for approval of projects, especially when it comes to foreign funding. So that has to be streamlined, and I think ICAR is working on that. And then guidelines for appropriate use of spare land at ICAR Institute in PPP mode is also required. So I think thank you very much. There are some of the glimpses of achievement of our institute with Honorable Ministers, Honorable Prime Minister, and this is the NDRI centennial celebration this year. And so I think I have taken more than half an hour, roughly, 35-40 minutes. So thank you very much. If there are any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. Thank you very much for making an excellent presentation. Friends, today again, I'm really very, very happy that our staff, scientists, technical have joined in very large numbers from almost every institute. The presentation of Dr. Tripathi, if you could see, not only good achievements and good targets, but also most of the research were product oriented. Almost every institute has come out with very good products. So what I was thinking that probably this presentation was more useful for non-animal scientists. Probably animal scientists, they know about all these achievements because they are working on this in this particular area. But certainly our scientists who are not from animal science discipline, for them, it must have been a kind of learning experience that what our animal science institutes are doing. So Dr. Tripathi, congratulations to you and your team, all the staff of different institutes of animal sciences, their directors, their scientists, and so on. Friends, before I request you for your suggestions, Dr. Tripathi and others who have already made presentations, and I shall request Dr. Agrawal to follow it up. You please send a brief note, maybe around 2 to 3 pages, so that whatever suggestions you are making, we will be keeping a note of that. And as I said in the beginning, once all the presentations are over, we shall discuss each and every suggestion each and every suggestions being given by our DDGs and others who will be giving, to see that these things can be implemented. We shall try our best to the extent possible to see that these suggestions, which are really going to help the functioning as well as output of our institutes, will be implemented. So we shall discuss in our DDGs meeting or some other forum, and then we shall get back to you. Dr. Tripathi, you showed, of course, slide about the budget cut. And as I said last meeting, hopefully the things are going to improve. In this area also, we are going to get some more fund. And maybe next year, we are going to get around 1,000 crores. But that is not a point of rather complacency. I would also request you, and not you because you have already made the presentations, others also to show one slide what has been the trend of revenue generation for last 3 or 5 years or so. So that will also give us a good idea. Dr. Tripathi, you have made projections that you are going to generate around that 47 plus 18 plus 28 some crores, but from animal science, our expectation is really more. Really more. At least animal science institutes should be able to generate minimum 25 to 30% of their research expenses. And I think this is possible. One general suggestions to all our institutes, particularly the directors, see, we have to decide the projects based on the availability of budget. Now the time has gone where you are going to implement each and every project, whatever is being proposed by any scientist. You first see how much resources you have got, and then prioritize the projects as per their merit, as per their budget availability, and also their importance in the national as well as international context. You know how to prioritize, and probably one day we can discuss about how to prioritize these projects. We need to run each and every project, as I said. And now onwards, I've already requested our DDGs, and we are going to have another brief meeting. Our DDGs will be giving more time for scientific and technical activities of the institutes. So they will be very closely working, our DDGs and ADDs, with the directors of various institutes, so that the projects, particularly the research activities as well as some development activities, including extension and education, will be more streamlined. More and more streamlined. These are some of the general suggestions. Again, Dr. Tripathi, congratulations. And now let us listen some of the comments or suggestions or questions if any one of you would like to have. My request will be, please raise your hand so that I'll be able to identify you. And then please make your observation.
It was a nice lecture, actually. I'm basically veterinarian, even though I'm working in the aquaculture sector here. It was nice to hear all the happenings and advancement. But one thing I really that laboratory production of the meat. What is that actually? I was not understanding that, number one. Number two is that we are working on omega-3 and cholesterol-free eggs of meat. I think we have also the same idea in the fish in the rich protein source. We have competent scientists. As a possibility, we can collaborate to work with them. We can undertake collaborative work.
Thank you, Dr. Burman. And Dr. Tripathi, you need to respond now. You please note it down, and at the end, you can respond all the queries together. Can I go to NIAP New Delhi?
Very good evening, sir. This was very insightful presentation. I just want to submit that all the livestock institutes, they have huge experimental data on animal diagnostics, health services, and all those parameters. So I think we can make an inventory of that data, and that can be utilized by social scientists in that respective institute and also the scientists of NIAB, so that we can have some kind of appropriate modeling interventions for using that data to strengthen the livestock value chains. This was one. Another thing is that, sir, actually we are losing in the international market in some our niche products like bovine meat. So some of the markets we are losing. So we need to emphasize research on international market diagnostics, market potential, and what are the uptakes for research agenda. So these two are my humble ambitions. Thank you, sir.
Sir, in
Very
addition,
good.
I have a. Sir,
Yeah, sure,
in
sure,
addition,
Dr.
I have-
Bhupendra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few suggestions for Dr. Tripathi, because this is the one
Please.
sector which has been growing much faster than any of the component of agriculture sector, and it is more
Right.
it is more pro-poor, but still, we have not been able to capture on the benefits of this livestock sector for the to the society. We have not been able to show it much to the policy makers. Okay, these are the benefits. So here it requires some kind of impact assessment, and there is a lot of things. Say, for example, sex cement technology, it is becoming quite important. How it can stabilize livestock population, how it can help increasing production, how it will reduce prices, or how it will increase farmers' income. And besides that, of course, there are the 2 or 3 more things. One, of course, a lot of emphasis on vaccination. Now, do we know, have we prioritized the disease for which we require the vaccinations? This is one of the issues that, of course, that Ministry of Animal Husbandry, that is also confronting, where we should target. So here, then, it is important that should look for the losses due to different diseases and how the vaccination will help. Whether should we go for preventive kind of vaccination or the curative kind of treatment. Another, of course, the issue, of course, that we have been confronting on the demand and supply of feeds and fodders. So there is no information on that, except some studies, of course, our institute conducted about 15 years back. So these need to be revisited. And my suggestion will be, Dr. Tripathi, that all the economists, statisticians in the animal science research institutes, so you should have a network of these people and let them ask to work together on a particular issue. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Birthel. I think both the suggestions, yours as well as Madam's suggestions, are very important, very useful, including database and modeling, demand and impact assessment. And Dr. Birthel, not only for this one, I would also request you that if all our economists who are located in different institutes, their numbers are very few. Somewhere there are only 1, somewhere there could be 2. So they really need to work together. Otherwise, as you know, one economist will not be able to do much. And probably NIAP as well as our institutes, say in IRA, others, they can really guide and form a kind of team of economists, particularly for impact assessment and so on. So my request to you will be, if you can develop a kind of framework, how this integration could be possible, so that all the economists working in different ICAR institutes will be able to join together to come out with and come out some of this impact assessment, demand assessment, modeling, database generation, and so on. So please work on this, and maybe we shall have a detailed discussion on some other occasion on this one.
Thank you, sir.
Can we go to Sifed now?
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Okay, I have 2 suggestions, sir. Number one,
Sure.
Dr. Tripathi already mentioned that to reduce the cost or expenditure, there would be mechanization of farm operations. And I think this is an opportunity for us to work together to develop our own indigenous machines for suitable for farm operations, as well as the structures, animal structures. And this is one of the areas that should be considered in collaboration with the engineering division. This is one of the suggestions. Another suggestion is that first I compliment Dr. Tripathi for his excellent presentation. And I request that all these presentations, including yours, should be posted on ICAR website, so that whatever the very nice repository of knowledge that is being presented here is available for others to use at different places. And we can also share this information so that we can make ICAR proud. That's all.
Good, very good suggestions, Reksav, and I think both the suggestions we would certainly consider. Dr. Mohanty.
Good evening, sir. First of all, congratulations to Dr. Tripathi for the excellent presentation. Then I have 2 points. One is on milk. We are the highest milk producer in the world. But although in quantity, qualitatively, we have not looked very deeply into it. We do not have the actually micronutrient fingerprint for all the milk varieties. Otherwise, you can make like high value fish. like camel milk, donkey milk, mithun, all the milk, they can fetch much higher price in comparison to cow milk based on their micronutrient profile. And that is not a big thing. That can be in 1 year also, it can be done so that we can get value for the farmers. The second thing is, one slide mentioned about the biofortification of the chicken and other products with zinc or iron. So I think I'm just I want to know whether it is possible to go at this stage, like agriculture engineering did is presented for the 3D printing technology. Like instead of chicken, we can also go for chicken, adding F, so it is adding fish, so that that product contains both the omega-3 from the fish and other materials, other nutrients from the chicken. Similarly for mutton also, if we get mutton, we add this milk so that it is omega-3 fortified. Whether that this type of thing we should look for for the future. Thank you very much, sir, for the time.
Thank you, Dr. Mohanty. Dr. Mohanty, I would request you, these are very good ideas, and quite innovative ideas. And when DDG Fisheries will be making the presentation, you please include 1 or 2 of these kinds of ideas also, how other divisions can join hand. Can you go to NDRI?
Hello, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, please go ahead.
Sir, myself, Raj Kumar, sir, senior scientist, NDRI Canal, sir. सर डीडी साहब को मेरा नमस्ते सर. सर मेरा एक पॉइंट है सर मेरे को थोड़ा लगा सर कि मुझे बताना चाहिए. सर एक स्लाइड थी जो सर ने शो की थी, इनिशिएटिव्स टू रिड्यूस एक्सपेंडिचर एंड टारगेट अमाउंट. सर इसमें सेकंड पॉइंट था सर रिड्यूस एंगेजमेंट ऑफ सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल बाय इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सर्विलेंस सिस्टम. सर मेरा सुझाव है सर कि इससे सर जॉब जाने का डर है सर, और सर जॉब जो है इंडिया को बहुत जरूरत है सर. तो कैमरे से क्या होगा सर, सिर्फ कंपनियों के ही जेबें भरेंगे सर. मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है सर कि जो ये सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल है सर, इनको ही प्रेफर किया जाए बजाय कि कैमरा के साथ. ये सजेशन.
ठीक है, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद फॉर योर सजेशन. कैन आई गो टू IVRI इज्जत नगर?
Thank you very much, sir. We are really grateful to you, sir, for initiating a very good lecture series from our head of divisions. Sir, these 5 years are very important for the all the institutions, especially who are deemed universities. So, first of all, my gratitude to Dr. Tripathi for a very nice presentation. I have 3 important issues, sir. Since the IVRI and NDRI, sir, these are the deemed university, and they are using roughly 65% of the total budget of the animal science division, and they are also maintaining around 60% of the manpower of the total manpower of the assemblies. So these 2 institutes are very important for assemblies, sir. And these are deemed universities also. In next 5 years, as per the national education policy, lot of restructuring and reconsolidation will be required in these 2 institutes. So I think I would like to add the suggestion that these 2 institutions, I think institutional development plan will be developed with timelines, infrastructure, and responsibilities. So this is one important issue I would like to add. And second important issue, our Animal Science Institute, they are maintaining a valuable germ plan, and we are spending a huge amount of money for maintaining the germ plan across the various institutions. So it is a high time we must think the automations of these all the
Dr. Triveni साहब थोड़ा सा जल्दी करना पड़ेगा. You have to be brief actually.
So we have to make the automation in these institutions.
Right.
And last by commission that our regional stations and campuses, they are not be concluded that they have been ignored, our regional stations and campuses. So now in these 5 years, we have to be much more emphasis to strengthen the regional station and campuses of the institute to regain the glory. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you, Dr. Bhupendra, for very good suggestions. Some of the things, Dr. Saab, you can also consider. For example, regional stations under under IVRI. Why you are ignoring those? You please provide them support. You please encourage them. And as you rightly said that around 60-65% of our staff and resources are going to NDR and IVRI, we also expect that 65 to 70% of the resources also will come from these two institutes. In our case, all the institutes are important and we have to really give their due in terms of facilities, funding and so on. So Dr. Saab, thank you very much for very, very good suggestions. Let us move to Shiva Bhubaneswar.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
madam.
this is a very good initiation from you. We have taken a very good initiative, and we could know many things relating to animal science actually. So, as you know, sir, this is the only institute, particularly women, and women are the main source of particularly backyard poultry, because this has been our honorable diseases highlighted. And my suggestion is that one of the technologies pipeline is the biofortified, the chicken varieties. And this we have introduced it in crop science. Rice also we introduced. So my point of that, if we could get some of the technology related to women friendly, particularly animal sectors, because we are only doing the backyard poultry. That's very, very limited things. So that's a very actually important aspect. So my suggestion request is to kindly collaborate with our institute relating to animal science technologies.
Sure. Okay, madam. Thank you very much. This is very useful suggestion. Dr. Narsaya.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
To supplement this good, excellent presentation, I have one suggestion. Like we have commodity boards, or National Poultry and Meat Board is there in this case, or in other commodities. If ICAR can have more say, or we have more strings to pull and research promotion in those boards, so that our institutes can hook up the funding opportunities there and resources can be pulled. That's my suggestion.
Good. Dr. Narsaya, let us work on this. Very good. Let us go to IGFRI, Jhansi.
Thank you very much, sir. An excellent presentation by Dr. Tripathi. I have 2 points to say here. One is the generating fodder resources. As we know that this institute is a leading institute for fodder production in the country, and we have many non-conventional fodder resources available with us, apart from the natural normal forest crops and varieties what we have in this country. So this is a very good and welcome suggestions made by Dr. Tripathi. And we also look forward to have a collaboration with different animal science institutes, because they have their own big areas which is not being used for the fodder production. And we know that there is a fodder resources available with us, non-conventional fodder, and there is a normal fodder, natural fodder, what we have with us. The second point is the demand and supply of the green and dry fodder. As you know that there are many things which is coming up in papers, but some of the things which is not very true to our knowledge, because the demand and supply what has been presented by Dr. Tripathi also, it was a little bit higher side. As it was presented by Dr. Bhupendra, we need some scientific database for this. What we have calculated in 2019, it was only green fodder 12% deficiencies and dry fodder only 23-25%. Of course, there are many ways to calculate, but there is a urgent need of having all these calculation and database, so that when we present to the authorities, I mean to say the politicians and the parliament, the questions and the deficiencies to go in one way. Because when we say that's become different, and some other agencies present as data becomes different. So there is a urgent need to have a database were available in this country. And this being a leading institute, we do these things, but some sort of collaboration with other like ANI and Dr. Bhupendra says, there is a rightly said is a long back estimate was made, but we need latest.
Dr. Saab, you have to be brief.
So that's the two points, sir.
Okay.
These are our humble submissions to further work on this.
Thank you very much. Dr. Saab, IGFRI also said, and also Shiva said that they need to collaborate. Now, who is stopping you to collaborate? These are our own institutes. If we cannot collaborate within our institute, all ICAR institutes, then how will we be able to collaborate with other outside ICAR? So please develop a concept note at your end, contact the concerned institute with which you want to have your collaboration, initiate it. If there is any difficulties, if there is any bottleneck anywhere, you please let us know. You please let the SMD know. Dr. Tripathi is there, all the ADGs are there. We are really looking forward. Let me tell you, we are really looking forward for these collaborations. Somebody said that next 5 years, I think Dr. Triveni said that next 5 years are going to be very crucial. This is really true. Within next 5 years, ICAR really has to come out with some of the very high level of achievements. We really have to show that we are very serious in generating resources. We have to show that we are very serious in reducing our expenditure. We have to show that we are very serious in generating products, outputs, publication, and so on. There is no time left for us. We really have to work. So if any one of you are thinking that you should collaborate with any of the institutes, whole institute or even 1 or 2 scientists, you please take proactive role. Please initiate the process. We will be there if there is any bottleneck, and there should not be any. Let us go to Kajri, Jodhpur.
Sir, I'm Patil here from Kajri.
Yes, Dr. Patil.
Yes, sir. Sir, I really thank Dr. Tripathi for highlighting the importance of the breeds of Rajasthan. And actually, that is the case that some of the breeds, like the Tharparkar, Rathi, and all those things. But what I find that there are some breeds which are left out of the conservation and improvement programs. As in AICRP, these breeds could be included. And because if those are not covered, only 3 breeds I know that the Gir, Saiwal, and Kankaraj, those are being covered. Then another thing is that the Saiwal and the Friswal crosses, which has really come up well, which has got a potential of more than 4,000 at least the crosses. But what is the action plan for getting those into the field? Because I do not find that after getting those breeds covered or developed by the military farms and CIRC, there are no takers now. And the kind of fate that these animals are facing, possibly we need to look at it. And there are some other different livestock breeds also, which are important for this part of the country, like the dry regions. So we have the AICRP and we can cover so many breeds and we can really go for improvement of all those. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patil. These are very good suggestions. Let us work upon it. Dr. Sasni.
Sir, thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. So I could not hold back to think what I was thinking. I worked on earlier in rabies virus in cabbage, expression in cabbage. So that is a cross-discipline thing I was thinking of vaccine production in plants in higher amount. So we can take this up in future. Second thing, the natural agriculture and organic agriculture. So whether medicinal aromatic plants for veterinary medicines, that should be taken up to get funds in future for different, after giving the technology. These are the 2 basic points I thought I will share.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you very much. NRC on camel, Bikaner.
Thank you, sir, for giving us the opportunity to put our points before you. Sir, our center wants a collaborative network project on camel so that we can improve our potential of our camels in terms of milk production and other productive parameters. Sir, our Honorable DDG sir has also taken a note on this issue and has started some initial correspondence, but somehow it could not be finalized. So, sir, it is our submission that necessary.
Okay, Dr. Saab, thank you. I'm sure Dr. Tripathi will be considering it very seriously. Dr. Tripathi, I cannot see any more hands. So if you would like to respond, may not be to each and every query, but maybe in general, if you want to say something, Dr. Tripathi.
Thank you, sir, for all the questions. Some of them, the one that was raised by Dr. Pratap Birthal.
Yeah.
I have been in touch with him, and I always say that economists I think livestock, those were posted in IBR and NDRI. I had a meeting also with them that we are really not working on the livestock economics. And also that's why, we don't have proper data also. Impact analysis also that I have discussed many times with Dr. Bhupendra that we can work on it, impact analysis especially. For example, he is saying that vaccination, prioritization of vaccination. Then I think those things Government of India does that. Only prioritized diseases are only taken for the national immunization only. For example, 4 diseases they have taken, they are going to take LSD, maybe they can take ASF also. So that part is there. But demand and supply is related to international marketing, research, all those things. Perhaps we have to work closely with. That's why I have asked several times that why don't we have a livestock cell in ISRI? अब जहाँ पर है कैप में वहाँ पर एक livestock cell रखिए वहाँ पर. कई बार मैंने इसे कहा इस बात को. तो he said that livestock cell खोलेंगे तो आपके जो economist है वो जो है they will not feel good कि हम काम ले रहे हैं. So if you not do that, but perhaps I think, as Sarah suggested very clearly, that we can work together, all economists in the Animal Science Institute, we can sit together and discuss it, that how should we go along with all these issues. Another problem, another issue was raised by CFET about reduce losses from operation, etc. So I think we can always collaborate with them, and collaboration. I mean, that is open for engineering institute. When you go for the farm operations, we also incurring huge amount of money in our farm operation. So if you can work together with CFET and other engineering institute, that will be good for us. Dr. Mohanty gave some novel idea about milk quality and also biofortification of eggs and also so those parts we will have taken care of and we'll discuss in our institute. Then there was a question from NDRI that reducing staff will our employment will be less in that. So I think that is not much issue. That if we have got electronic surveillance system, then security security is the problem in the institute where there is no boundary. And if boundary is there, perhaps we can work with the less number of security. So of course, a lot of money we can save out of that as well. Dr. Trivedi that has raised a very valid issues around both NDRI and IBRI Institute, because we really need to have a development plan for these issues, because they are issues that are more than 100-year-old. So there is specific and a special grant I would request from DG sir to kindly try to give from anywhere a lump sum grant of maybe immediately some 500 crores or 1,000 crores to them, so that they can really come up with expectation. Because they are the one, I said that they are utilizing more than 60% of the budget, and also they are the real human resources in the country for animal science and veterinary science. So we must give them a better funding and better support. Siva Bhubaneswar, of course, now Dr. Gawal has also talked to me about how Animal Science Institute can give the technology, that is women-friendly technology, to them, so that they can adopt. And certainly we are going to work on that. And I will ask Director DPR and CRI to talk to you, so that at least those poultry technology where women can take part and that can be friendly for them, certainly we like to transfer them and work with you. IGFRI, Dr. Amresh has really he has raised a very important issue, that non-conventional feed resources. So we are working, many of our institutes are working on non-conventional feed resources, and they are important for us because to reduce the cost of production. And so we agreed to work with them, with IGFRI, as the DG has said already, that nobody has stopped us to work with them. And IGFRI is one, they are working for animal science only, in fact. Technology, they are learning from crop science, but IGFRI is producing fodder, etc. These are required for only animals, not for anybody else. Then the data, regarding data, I'm also confused, Dr. Amrish, and I have read several, everywhere, if I report that the difference, deficit is no different. Sometimes your dry fodder says 12%, somebody says 20%. So there is no national system of recording this data and declaring from one authentic source, maybe Government of India, maybe ICAR, so that everybody can follow that. So we have to really work on that. Kajri, Dr. Patil has really that Rajasthan is the biodiversity that is center for biodiversity, that is state in that area. So many breeds are coming up. And it is not that only we are working on your Sahiwal, Kankrej or these breeds. We just showed the impact analysis that we gave. Otherwise, there are some more breeds are also included in our AICRP program. And we're working even the dark cattle we have included the Rathi also. But again, there is a financial crunch. We are not able to really include many more breeds, though we have got 50 breeds currently. So we will look into that. Other thing that you raised issue of freeze wall cattle. Freeze wall cattle, we are in discussion with the Environment Department. And very recently, our DG has also written a letter to that, how quickly they adopt our freeze wall cattle in their cattle development program. So, and they have also agreed to that. So we are planning to do that, and so that our germ plant can be really propagated throughout. And from a plant biotechnology, there was some, they are all working in a CRP. In a CRP where I think animal, fishery, and plant, and that is being coordinated by Science Division only. So certainly we have got some project where vaccine or antigen virus can be expressed in plant, where the plant edible vaccines can be also tried. And I think they have been given for Japanese rabies or Japanese encephalitis. They are working on it, but I do not know what progress they have made. But certainly, both plant biotechnologists and I know better they can converse together and make such like innovative ideas and also work on it. And
okay.
So thank you very much. I think,
okay, Dr. Tripathi, thank you very much for making brief interventions. And of course, in a short time, it is not possible to respond to each and every query, but Dr. Tripathi has given a brief one. Others certainly can contact Dr. Tripathi, and I'm sure he will be responding back to you. Friends, our next presentation will be on 25th, which will be delivered by DDG Education, and that will be again at 4:30. And that is going to be our 5th presentation. The 6th presentation will be delivered by our DDG Horticulture on 28th. And we shall keep it maybe at 11 o'clock or so. And the notification will be sent to you. My request to our ICT team, Dr. Rai and Dr. KP Singh, that please check all these presentation issues, slide movement issues, and all those kinds of issues before the start of the presentation. So you can request the presenter to log in, to join maybe around 10 minutes prior, so that within those 10 minutes, you will be able to check all the ICT issues, including slides and everything. And again, my request to the presenters, of course, they have all very religiously followed the timelines. But even then, again, I would request them to keep the presentation a little brief, not going into so much of details, so that everybody will be able to appreciate it. And I request the participants to make your suggestions as many as possible. So we are going to cut the presentation time, but then the suggestion time is going to increase. So you please make as many suggestions as possible. Please use the chat box if you feel comfortable. So please write your suggestions. And as I said, each and every suggestion being given to you will be certainly considered. And who knows, probably your suggestion may make a dramatic change in the functioning of ICAR. Maybe your brief intervention may make a significant change in overall functioning and efficiency of ICAR. So please do not hold back yourself. If any new idea is coming in your mind, you please let us know that. You may not be the good judge whether the idea is good or bad. Let others judge about that particular idea. If you get some idea, please let us know. So with this, once again, I thank each and every one of you. It is indeed, at least for me, a very, very learning experience. And when I see all of you joining in such a large number, our speakers also get motivated. our future speakers are also get motivated. And every time, see, I think if I count, maybe more than 1,000 or 1,500 people in totality have joined. So it is really a very, very big event, I would say. More than 1,500 participants listening one lecture, and we are spending, say, 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hours or so. So thank each and everyone, all the participants, particularly to the speaker. Dr. Agrawal, the last words from you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, with your permission, can I make one more announcement for information?
Please, please.
Sir, just I got a message from Honorable Minister Office that Animal Science Division, that 2 institute review will be there tomorrow, 23rd November at 11:30 a.m., sir. So I will send a mail immediately after the meeting, but this is the latest. And of course, about the DDG education presentation, already you have conveyed. So tomorrow morning, we'll be sending a mail to everybody, sir, concerned, and with the link also. So with this, it is a very heartening and great occasion to offer a vote of thanks, sir, particularly to start with Honorable DG ICAR and Secretary there. Sir, it is your vision and the way the presentation was done today and discussion. I congratulate you also, and I thank you very much for chairing and initiating it. Profusely thanks to the speaker of the day, DDG Animal Science, Dr. B.N. Tripathi, sir. Sir, thank you very much for making such a wonderful presentation and taking all the question and discussion. A brief thanks to everybody at headquarters, Secretary, ICAR, AS and FA, all the DDGs, ADGs, all the scientific staff, all the administrative staff, whoever is there. Thank you everybody to participate. All the Institute of ICAR, all the Ataris, all the state university, agriculture university, central agriculture university, whoever are there. I know I am not naming everybody, but name is very long, but I will like to brief it. And all the KVKs. Thank you, all of you, to not only to listen, to come in time, and today it was noiseless question, answer, and making it more meaningful. DG sir has already told that your participation makes a huge difference. The way ICAR in future is going to see its presence and productivity. So I thank everybody of you, without naming very detail of directors, scientists, everybody. I thank everybody, institute director or scientist or technical staff or KVK staff, everybody, whosoever is present and contributing to the great cause for our future preparation for this council. So thank you everybody. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice time.